of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
At their own 42-yard line. 180.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, after last week we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Brings up third down and 5.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
29 is Mike. Mike 29.
Hey, Mike 7.
29.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Seibert's kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Sony Michel, his first carry. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Watson eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 9-yard line.
Set. 180. Hey, alert 33.
Anybody's coming. Watson.
From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
It's a party now.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for them.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
A run with Chubb on first down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Hey, orbit.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 29, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We better than that.
And it's 3rd down.
What's that?
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Motion. Watch in. Coming this way. Here we go.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Alert. Kill. Check your hot read. Hurry. 57's a Mike. 55.
Out of the gun, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 48 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And they'll try Michelle here running on the right side. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Sony Michel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. A run for Nick Chubb. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. 23 yards, the final tally.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Check it back. 80 weapon. Hey, exit. Rail.
1st down, Mayfield. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is caught at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Regular.
Mayfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now a first down throw. Watson. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Under 10. Motion. Reset.
To try again after the sack. Watson going deep for Hopkins. It got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, they run with Michel. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. A throw out wide to QT, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Hey, you got to snap it.
Watson looks to throw again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
180. Go.
Let's go.
Following the interception, Mayfield trying to lay one up deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that doesn't matter.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second and 12, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
And he will score. It's a touchdown. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run. And the Texans have retaken the lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 31, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
On third down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Here's Jamie Gillen now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken in at the 22. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Come on out here, come get some.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his. And
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have retaken the lead. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
The stop made by Joe Garrett. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Real. 52's the mic, boy. 52.
Now Mayfield going for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant you the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, there was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans. Third and long, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now Chubb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down and 11-yard pickup.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Here we go. At the 15-yard line.
A toss play to Chubb. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Check 43.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. This is the tight end, Njoku. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 17-yard line.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter.